The Redmi Note 15 4G is Xiaomi's first budget release this year and the direct successor to the Redmi Note 14 4G. On paper, it brings a new chipset, newer software and a few changes that honestly made me stop and ask, why did Xiaomi even do this? So in this video, I'm breaking down every part of this phone so we can see whether it's actually an upgrade from the Note 14 4G or one of those phones you should avoid completely in 2026. First, we are going to take a look at the design and build quality. Redmi haven't exactly been the best when it comes to crafting designs. Their phones look so out of touch when compared to most of the competition, especially Tecno and Infinix. But all that has finally changed because for the first time ever, I'm seeing an aesthetic which is no doubt one of my top favorites of all time. Like seriously, doesn't this look cool? The reason I love it so much is because of how generally uniform it is. The rear sports a matte finish which is resistant to fingerprint smudges, and the alignment of the cameras is just perfect. The way they arranged it in that squared circle bump at the center not only makes it look sophisticatedly elegant, it also makes it invisible to table wobbling, which is cool. For the build quality, there are some concerning areas here which I need to point out. It's a plastic finish which is expected as it's still a budget phone at the end of the day, but then it has an IP64 rating which isn't exactly the highest standard for a phone costing nearly 300,000 naira. And it also has Gorilla Glass protection, 3 or 5, I don't know, they didn't specify. So in as much as the rating isn't exactly mind-blowing, it's still well designed and carries good enough protection for any particular situation. And if you are enjoying this video, then kindly leave a like so more people can see it. And also don't forget to subscribe. We are still on the road to hit 3,000 subscribers as soon as possible, and it's only by your help that it can be achieved. Thank you very much. Before we turn to the front, let's talk about the external features and see what we are getting. On the top of the phone, you get an Miah blaster, secondary speakers, and a secondary microphone. On the left side, there is nothing. The right side houses the volume rockers and power button, whilst the bottom contains the main speaker grill, main microphone, USB Type-C port, and SIM card slot. And no, there is no support for expandable storage, which is quite sad. But don't be upset because that's not all. The Note 15 4G comes with an under-display fingerprint scanner for security, which is quite fast and reliable. No headphone jack, NFC connectivity, and an Miah blaster, which will come in handy to operate some appliances like your TV. The thing I like the most about this phone's features is the fact that these are really good Dolby Atmos stereo speakers, so they sound amazing. No matter what you'll be doing on this phone, especially consuming content, these speakers should definitely provide an immersive experience. Speaking of consuming content, how good is the display on the Note 15 4G? Well, this is one of the aspects of this phone that disappointed me a bit. Let me explain. Redmi as a brand used to be known for cutting-edge screens that were way ahead of the competition, the likes of Tecno and Infinix, which were struggling at the time. But now it looks like they are no longer taking things as serious. On paper, it sounds pretty normal. The 6.77-inch 1080p AMOLED panel with a 120Hz refresh rate and 3200 nits of brightness. So what's exactly the problem? Well, I think Xiaomi are forgetting how much this thing actually costs. For a price of almost 300,000 naira, I expected to see like a 144Hz refresh rate, 1.5K resolution, and for 500 nits of peak brightness, which is what a lot are offering nowadays at this price point. Doesn't make it a bad display? No, of course not, because it's still very usable. It's still sharp, vibrant, and bright whenever you are using it to consume content. But you should bear this in mind, at this price range, there are still much better screens out there. And that leads us to the performance. Is it any good? Well, yes and no. For context, this is probably one of the most expensive budget smartphones you get right now in 2026, and I believe for it to be this expensive, you should have a lot of great things to show for it, but that's not exactly the case. In fact, I will say performance and some other stuff which I'll get to in a second as some of the key reasons why this should have been a much cheaper phone. Behind the Redmi Note 15 is the MediaTek Helio G100, which is a very solid budget gaming chipset even by 2026 standards. But here's the problem. Last year, MediaTek had released the better performing Helio G200, which is better and available on slightly cheaper options from Tecno and Infinix. Does that make it a bad thing? Performance wise, no, because it's still very good in handling almost everything you throw at it. Even after long-term gaming sessions, it will still feel very strong. However, it's still something you need to bear in mind before buying because it's not the greatest option, especially considering how much you are going to be spending on the phone in the first place. What about the software? Well, in this category, I had mixed feelings because of how they still managed to not deliver on my expectations of what a 300,000 naira phone should come with. On the face of it, it's pretty normal. HyperOS 2 and Android 15 is, in my opinion, one of the best looking software skins you can get in the market right now, mostly because of how clean its user interface is in comparison to a lot of the others. The white app drawer is very colorful. It makes each individual icon stand out in a good way, unlike all of this. It has quite the amount of bloatware, but the good news is that almost all of them can be uninstalled, and the cherry on top is 4 years of software support, which is only behind Samsung, who currently offers 6 at these prices. So what's the problem here, you might ask? Well, in as much as this is a simple and elegant software, the issue remains that it's too simple. There's a lack of modest features which I was expecting to see. They do have some sort of assistant with Gemini, as you can see, but that's like basically the only feature you're ever going to get as you use the phone daily. And that leads us to the battery experience. Now, this is one of the best aspects of this phone, if not the best. It's one of those things that really make me happy about current Redmi phones. The Redmi Note 15 comes with a massive 6000 mAh battery, which is, simply put, never worrying about your phone dying when you're using it, no matter what you're doing. If you're an average user, this is 2 days use period, and the charging is okay. It's like 3 watts, which can fill up this battery from flat in about an hour and a half. It also comes with 18 watt reverse wire charging, which is just crazy as it literally turns this phone into a power bank. Now let's talk about the most anticipated category, the cameras. This is one area that most Redmi phones of nowadays are actively lagging behind in the competition. So let's see if there will be a difference this time around. The Redmi Note 15 comes with a 108MP camera and an auxiliary lens for depth perception. 108MP, wow! And truly, this is one of this phone's biggest strengths. If you are someone who has used the previous version like the Redmi 15 4G or the Redmi 15C, you can clearly notice the extra details. The larger sensor also allows for better separation of foreground and background, resulting in incredible dynamic range and color reproduction.
Hey, that's pretty good.
But when I looked at the video, I was disappointed. Not because the video is bad, no. It's because of the limitations. The Redmi Note 15 only shoots at 1080p max. How can it not shoot in at least 2K, a 2026 smartphone? Most people won't care as it's still a pretty high quality result. However, to the rest of the competition, it's still well behind. So is the Redmi Note 15 an upgrade from the Note 14? Absolutely. Is it actually worth buying in 2026? Well, yes and no. Most people aren't going to care too much if they're only attracted to things like its new groundbreaking design or its hefty camera system. But for the people who want function and things established for 2026 standards, this is probably not the best to buy at this price, especially when you consider what the slightly cheaper alternatives offer. But if you want a Redmi phone that comes with almost the same goodies, literally 100,000 naira cheaper, click here to check out my full review of the Redmi 15 4G and I'll tell you all about it.
That's pretty good.